I want to talk about something that this just came to me, and it's not going to be fully articulated or fleshed out, but I think a lot of people, especially women, will resonate with this, and that is living alone. Let's talk about it. I haven't had a roommate since early 2021. I haven't had a partner since 2015. Prior to that partner, I was with the same person for 15 years. I have no interest in being with a man. I have no interest with seeking out partnership. I'm not saying that because I was 4B before anybody was 4B. It's how my life has played out. I'm the only child of a single mother. I thrive when I'm alone. That's not to say that there aren't compounding factors that are toxic around isolation and depression that factor into that. But my natural state of being is I want to be by myself. I have to remind myself that you call people and hang out when it's time to go out. I do everything by myself. I like being alone. But it takes a toll. It takes a toll. And I'm not even really talking about loneliness in the context of intimacy or companionship or friendship. All of those things are certainly at play and definitely come into play when you have lived alone and are isolating due to depression for years at a time. But I want to put that over here for a second. The thing that I want to name that, again, is not fully articulated is that you lose way markers, you lose milestones, you lose a sense of this happened in my life at this point. On this day, I remember that this happened on this date. When you live alone, whether it's intentional or not, yes, it's exhausting. Yes, as much as you love it, it does become exhausting. That's, again, another conversation we're going to put over here. But what happens is you lose milestones. You lose your ability to, the wayfinding is very difficult. You compound that with cost of living crisis, being out of work, not being able to leave your house 99.9% of the time. You really lose all sense of time and space and place. And if I should survive this particular moment in my life and I were to look back on pretty much 2018 to now, there are probably I could probably count on one hand the milestones or way markers or points in my life that stand out where I can say, oh, that happened then, that's gonna stick with me. Everything else is just a fucking blur. It's every day bleeds into the next. Every day is just surviving, but just existing. There's nothing happening, there's nothing to look forward to, there's nothing going on. It's just a constant state of dissociation and survival. And even if you were to take out of the equation the unhealthy, melancholic aspects of what I'm describing, living alone robs you of so many events with a capital E, for better or worse. And I'm having just a moment where this is coming to the fore. I don't regret being on my own. I don't want a man. I don't want a woman. I don't want anybody in my life right now because I'm not equipped, and that's just not where I'm at. And I'm okay with that. I want to be able to thrive on my own. But there is this sense of not being able to see land, of only being able to of being in the doldrums. Truly, I think that's the best analogy is being in the doldrums, having nothing but horizon 360 around you. There's nothing that I can, at least right now, hindsight may tell a different story, but if I come out of this, I can't imagine looking back at this almost a decade of my life and seeing anything or remembering anything of significance. And that's terrifying, but being in it and also being aware of that is quite frightening, because it's makes you hyper aware of the fact that you are quite literally just existing. And that's okay. That's also okay, because existing is better than the alternative. And so I'm grateful that I'm have enough fight in me to still do that. But I think like this is just something that we don't talk about enough. So I'm curious to know like what you think, especially if you are a woman who's been on her own in whatever context for an extended period of time, because this is a conversation I think we need to be having.